If we respect the Constitution, that is what matters, and that is the conversation that we ought to have, because there's a lot of change that needs to become, including the starting of an innocence project, because the idea that persons can gamble with the Constitution and the freedom of people, the liberty of people, is something that we ought to be very afraid of in terms of the modern narrative and media, and that will be addressed in due time.
Now welcome back to another Exclusive for Live. Now blessing goes out to all my viewers and all my subbies, all my well wishers. Like, share and also subscribe if you haven't done so already. Coming up in today's topic and review.
Yeah, but I have a voice. But just a lad. My voice gone. But just a lad. But just lad to the blood clot the horse. But just I come from England. And what is my lad do? Jesus Christ. Look at my shopping here. My voice gone.
I couldn't.
Yes, baby.
I don't have any makeup on.
You don't need makeup, baby. You're naturally beautiful. Yes.
I couldn't.
Yes, baby.
I don't have any makeup on.
You don't need makeup, baby. You're naturally beautiful.
What goal in the government? Andrew Holness say your election will come up, so you can't afford to make that swing for the media, damn media. Because the PNP, I'll be a fool in a PNP, you know. I'll be a fool in a PNP, be an idiot in a PNP. Believe, but that can never happen, you damn fool. That I go down and say, a Labour government let the cartel brag. A GLP lock you, a PNP lock him up, and GLP let him go. And he make sure signing papers saying can't sue the government. You never know that. Let me tell you code.
I saw me know you're fooling now. If you feel like say, yeah, the government of Jamaica can override the Constitution of Jamaica and come with them corruption, why is it that Vybz Kartel cannot sue the government after them violating rights? You must feel like say you're a fool. Andrew Holness have nothing to do with the man's freedom. And the law freedom man and Andrew Holness is not the law. You understand what I say to you? So more for me with the little waste talk. You understand what I say to you? Andrew Holness doesn't run Jamaica, brother. Get it out your fucking head. Andrew Holness going prison. You hear me I tell you?
Andrew Holness, when the cartel come on road, Andrew Holness now lose the election again. You look like you don't see it. Yeah, they're gonna say a GLP government free, you fucking fool, yo. You fucking fool, yo.
That will never happen, fool. Once Isaac Buchanan tell cartel say, listen, I'm Mark Golin and the PNP free. Remember say, Isaac Buchanan, a big PNP activist. Don't be fooled, brother. Andrew Holness going to lose even more miserably. That you need to know. Only thing I tell you is make sure you have my toes upon it and I see you now. I want my toes upon because the cartel couldn't free the cartel free. Yeah? Fool! Freedom Street, boy. Me tell you that. Make sure you have my money, fool.
What goal in the government? Andrew Holness say your election will come up, so you can't afford to make that swing for the media, damn media. Because the PNP, I'll be a fool in a PNP, you know. I'll be a fool in a PNP, be an idiot in a PNP. Believe, but that can never happen, you damn fool.
I saw me know you're a fool, you know. If you feel like say, yeah, the government of Jamaica can override the Constitution of Jamaica and come with them corruption, why is it that Vybz Kartel cannot sue the government after them violating rights? You must feel like say you're a fool. Andrew Holness have nothing to do with the man's freedom. And the law freedom man and Andrew Holness is not the law. You understand what I say to you? So more for me with the little waste talk. You understand what I say to you? Andrew Holness doesn't run Jamaica, brother. Get it out your fucking head. Andrew Holness going prison. You know, hear me I tell you? Once Kartel lift up out of Jamaica, Jamaica get a blood clot lawsuit where Andrew Holness head gonna hurt him. You try know that bomber clot. Listen to this. That you need to know. Not play with we. We not play with evil people. You see, for me evil, we not afraid of you. And you can't override right over wrong. The one can sue the government if you want and him no sign no paper to that. Because Andrew Holness couldn't stop the man freedom. The law works. Andrew Holness not corrupt the law. Fuck that corruption within the law. This and nothing to do with Andrew Holness.
If we respect the Constitution, that is what matters, and that is the conversation that we ought to have, because there's a lot of change that needs to become, including the starting of an innocence project, because the idea that persons can gamble with the Constitution and the freedom of people, the liberty of people, is something that we ought to be very afraid of in terms of the modern narrative and media, and that will be addressed in due time.
Andrew see the powers of cartel of, yeah, we're thinking about the whole constitution. They could have well and pull strings and for whatever, but it's not through the constitution.
Andrew see the powers of cartel of, yeah, we're thinking about the whole constitution. They could have well and pull strings and for whatever, but it's not through the constitution.
If we respect the Constitution, that is what matters, and that is the conversation that we ought to have. If we respect the Constitution, that is what matters, and that is the conversation that we ought to have. If we respect the Constitution, that is what matters, and that is the conversation that we ought to have.
The GLP let him go. Forget the people, cause yo, dirty PNP and PNP dirty dog like you. See Andrew Holness, will on back on cartel. See Andrew Holness, you see when the place free up now, it have always remember say our GLP government. A PNP government like up cartel, you know. You try remember, yeah? And if you never know what me tell you, like a dunce but fool, if I never be Tom Tavares fencing, cartel would have be at jail or would have locked up right now. A Tom Tavares fencing have in case I make man boss it. Go listen Sir P. Never say the Sir P with Tom Tavares since you fucking fool. You think JLP are idiot? If you thank God for G. Yo, right now you should have switch. You fucking idiot.
Yo, talk to you. You're deaf.
Say the Sir P. Yeah? A top
fool, get it in your head. The man with free cartel is Isaac Buchanan. And Isaac Buchanan is Mark Golin, bomber clot, liar. If you don't know, shut up. Andrew Holness want cartel to stay a prison. That's why they are trying to get the DDP out to try and black cartel from come a bomber clot road. Shut up. Shut up. Cause you never want to see cartel come a road. So don't come bomber clot talk about Prime Minister free cartel. Andrew Holness that Andrew Holness get here. Bomber clot do you. What I'm to you? Who you feel Andrew Holness is? You see cartel there road. What Andrew Holness have to do with this? More for me someone about Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness a man on my youth. I want to you. You're deaf.
Tavares fencing, you fucking fool. We tell you say, oh, all the PNP are just gunshot enough to get in on the dunce like dog. On the dunce. You think Andrew Holness a fool? Once Andrew Holness said they never lose another election, think you a fool? You will see.
The idea that persons can gamble with the Constitution and the freedom of people, the liberty of people, is something that we ought to be very afraid of in terms of the modern narrative and media, and that will be addressed in due time.
The man, the free cartel is JLP, and them control the system. If you think Andrew Holness an idiot, I through the dunce are fool as PNP now. That's how we have the most garrison. They want the free cartel at JLP. And you will see for yourself when the government election call. The people that always have PNP send Kartel to jail. And the man that actually get and tell them, say, yeah man, we okay, it was, we're going to sell this RP. Yeah? A Tom Tavares fencing, you fucking fool. We tell you, say, oh, all the PNP are just gunshot enough to get in on the dunce like dog. On the dunce. You think Andrew is a fool? Once Andrew said they never lose another election, you think you're a fool? You will see.
So we are say, cause remember you say Kartel will never see back road enough. Remember you say, oh, Andrew Holness will never free Kartel enough. So what Andrew Holness a play a gamble with people life, and that you say. Yeah, a gamble Andrew Holness a play with people life. You say Kartel will never see back road. And me there saw witness Kartel a come a road.
I say Andrew Holness never free Kartel. Andrew Holness keep a blind car election, so he want to get the people on his side. I say Andrew Holness never free Kartel. Andrew Holness keep a blind car election, so he want to get the people on his side. Don't spot. You think the man a British, the man a yardie, the man streets, the man a fool. Yeah? PNP send Kartel to jail and Andrew Holness government free. And give money to and Tom Tavares Vincent. You want me selling the block? Me selling the block with me educated, don't spot PNP bumble fool.
The idea that persons can gamble with the constitution and the freedom of people, the liberty of people, is something that we ought to be very afraid of in terms of the modern narrative and media, and that will be addressed in due time.
How can you educate me or Sir P educate me? When Sir P did as a Kartel now come a road fall just like you. Sir P is shame right now. So him can't talk anything when him want talk. The man is free. Vybz Kartel is Isaac Buchanan. And you now go take the man credit and mix it up in a no politics for please bomber blood clot. Andrew Holness, brother. Andrew Holness have nothing to do with the man freedom. Because Andrew Holness is not bigger than the Constitution.
The idea that persons can gamble with the constitution and the freedom of people, the liberty of people, is something that we ought to be very afraid of.
You understand what I'm saying to you? The Constitution is what run Jamaica. Uno feel like so the corruption is gonna last. Alright, uno watch the corruption going put on, you know. Mark my word.
And one thing, Sir P brighter than you fucking dunce PNP idiot. Per P never say that. Sir P say if anything for bus Kartel case, all them deal with the case. Yeah? Sir P never say Kartel will never come on road. You understand? Don't get twisted, dunce but PNP. JLP free Kartel. JLP free Kartel. Tom Tavares Vincent.
Alright, so when Andrew Holness did I try reinstate the DDP, Paula Llewellyn, the one who will send Kartel go to prison, the one who will fly come a UK, come embarrass herself for try to send Kartel, you know what I mean, for Kartel remain in prison. What's wrong with you? Oh, Andrew Holness free Vybz Kartel. No, you are trying to say Andrew Holness a play Russian roulette with Kartel life. Cause the system is so corrupt. So them could have let the Kartel all along then. Andrew Holness had the post to let the Kartel all along and he make the man serve 13 bomber cloth years for corruption, yeah? Just because of corruption, because he knows that the man innocent. Because the law, the UK law and the Jamaica law find the man innocent. You know what acquittal mean? You be say Andrew Holness can't tell the man nothing if the man wants to sue them. The only way Kartel not sue them unless he want pardon them, or the only other way him not sue them is because he knows that if him sue the government of Jamaica and live at Jamaica, him is a walking dead man. You understand what I say to you? So let's talk the truth, brother. You understand? But you can't talk like me. Because me can't talk the truth. You understand? And that's the thing there. So more from you, so you hear Isaac Buchanan say all of them corruption there. We have changed all of that.
If we respect the Constitution, that is what matters, and that is the conversation that we ought to have, because there's a lot of change that needs to become, including the starting of an innocence project, because the idea that persons can gamble with the Constitution and the freedom of people, the liberty of people, is something that we ought to be very afraid of.
I find corruption as normal, you know, but me find it very disgusting.
PP nah nothing to do with nothing. A Tantavaris met them. Do you don't spot or be a conch speak your smoke, you fuck up your PNP fool. Do you listen what Tantavaris say? Do you hear what Sir P said about Tantavaris? He was the one that said when it go Privy Council or Court of Appeal in England, it a go throw out. Yeah? It was Tantavaris that set up that bullshit, bruv. We said that Tantavaris attack, you fucking fool.
But Tantavaris, brother, that man they are criminal, brother, you know that. Cause Fim, remember say Fim, you know, son-in-law, you know. And the notorious bum, you don't understand the message to you. Notorious man that dig out him daughter belly in a dog. Tantavaris is not a man with no credibility, brother. You know, say a corruption, yeah, a big corruption on the stripe, and brother, we ain't on the corruption, you know. Him don't have nothing to do with cartel freedom. Because if the UK Privy Council no say, you know what I mean, this a little man with him is supposed to be upholding the law, you know what I mean, in a different type of corruption, yeah. Him gone to prison, brother, and this will start happen. That's why the Prime Minister don't want bill. No new constitution or no new republic with any impeachment for all them a little piece of shit here accountable for shit like this we have to talk about. Talk up, man. Bumba clock there. You know you waste people, you know. Who know I waste people, who see corruption as normal. And that Andrew Holness bring to Jamaica. Every part of the system of Jamaica corrupt. From the Prime Minister come right down to the little baby upon the breast right now corrupt under Andrew Holness government. And we done talk to you.
I say Andrew Holness is never free cartel. Andrew Holness keep my blind car election so he want to get the people on his side. Don't spot. You think the man are British, the man are yardy, the man streets, the man a fool. Yeah?
Of course, Andrew Holness is a fool. To make fool like Uno encouraging into doing these unlawful acts as a Prime Minister. Uno worse than the Prime Minister. But what, him is the Prime Minister, him should know better. It's a shame. It's such a shame, brother.
Evidence that you cannot do anything without God. That's where I start. I'm going to use the word happy for the appellants. I'm going to let the Jamaican people know that although there's fixing for the justice system, the Constitution works. It has always been our belief. And I want to thank the team, Mr. Clark, Mr. Bish, Mr. Chevalier, and myself for the hard work that we put into it. It was a long fight, many years, many things came from it, but we are now here awaiting the release of Adidja Palmer.
What time is cartel be free?
That has to happen
Today?
The process has started, and we would hope today because the Constitution said something about that.
No, the judge said that he's free.
The judge says he's free.
So the question now
yes.
Is that what time?
authority must explain Why is a free man in custody? So they'll have to do what they'll have to do to release him, but he's free. So
what
the judge after the usual process? It's too early. It's too early.
It's too early for that, but we certainly hope that as we're saying this to you, that the process is being expedited, and we just await their release.
And it's important to know since morning. It's important to know one thing. These men have been in custody for more than 13 years. So essentially, we hope that they'll have the time to spend with their family, etc. At this time, having waited for almost 30 years through one court process, they're not hurrying to find another process. They're hurrying to spend time with their loved ones, with their family, and at this stage, that's all we can hope for. And must be there till night.
This is their independence, emancipation, July 31st for them, and so it should be that. And so I am sure you've heard the posture of the court, that the wheel is in motion, and if I were you, I'd be heading over to another venue to see that.
What's the thought going into this hearing? What was your thought going into this hearing?
My thoughts, and I've done many interviews. I've done many interviews, and we've always said this. So I'm going to sound like a broken record. God on time. We only do the work, while God, we are grounded in the faith, and that's what it is. God on time and time.
So you are confident of this outcome?
I'm confident. We were confident.
What was Kartel's word to you before you came here today, Mr. Buchanan? Just say that before you pass it on to Mr. Buchanan.
What was his?
Before you came here today.
Boy, I'm going to say. No, I'm going to say it. It's God on time, and they believe.
Always.
All of them.
Always.
All of them.
What has the process been like for the legal team going through all of this?
Boy, it has been very tiring. I don't think people understand the kind of human effort that it puts into this. There's sleepless nights. There's a whole lot that goes into preparation. You've heard that there were multiple volumes of documents that were served, and lots of work would have gone into preparing those documents for today. We made sure, certainly from our side, that we put everything that we needed to before the court for it to make mature considerations and to ensure that the verdict today was one of acquittal.
And the court must be, and bear in mind what lecture just said, the court must be commended, because you have to bear in mind the court had to go through almost 10 volumes, and the court did it in record time. It's not difficult, bear in mind the short resources that our judges have, that they can return judgments within a time that they like. And ultimately in this case, they work overtime. You heard the judges thanking specifically the judicial clerks for ensuring that they could meet the timeline that they gave to the public, and we're very grateful for that. But out of all of this, I don't think that if you ask any of the appellants, that they will say that they got justice. Because from day one, they professed their innocence. And at the end of the day, you have, after almost 13 years, you're just going home without the merits of the case actually being decided. So for the appellants, it is regrettable that this is how this matter has to end. And we hope that this will be a lesson for everybody who loves justice in Jamaica, because there are certain things that went wrong in this case, and that we hope that the persons who have the power to change things in this country will examine to ensure that no other Jamaican citizen have to spend 13 years in custody, and after 13 years there's nothing that nobody can do to give back Kartel, to give back Sean Storm, or to give back any of the appellants the missing 13 years out of their life. Some of them would have had their family members die, unable to go to funeral, and ultimately what we have to do better by them. We also have to do better by victims of crime who themselves today they be looking at this thing and say this is not justice. And one hope that this will be a lesson, a teachable moment for our country as we move forward to ensure that we achieve the ideals of our anthem, justice for all.
Will the legal team remain the same, Mr. Shavira? Will the legal team remain if it is that these persons, the appellants, plan to go forward for damages, or let's say if they want to get something from
Certainly that's not a question that we're in a position to answer. The clients are the ones who decide how their representation is composed. I think that question is best reserved. As you know, the men are free, so I guess in due time they'll be able to answer this.
No, so one thing I want to say, I need to say this, is that the media has a responsibility, especially, I know you guys are state media, official media, but certainly the other forms of media have a responsibility not to assassinate characters and not to put out false information. If you listen to the judge in terms of how they lay out the facts and the significance of they had nothing to do with the jury tampering, there is no evidence of anything in relation to tampering of evidence. These things are important, and I can now say clearly that the men are innocent, and anybody wants to challenge that, that's just on them. They can believe what they want, but those things are important.
So they're innocent under the Constitution?
They're under the Constitution.
They're innocent until proven or pleaded.
And if we respect the Constitution, that is what matters, and that is the conversation that we ought to have, because there's a lot of change that needs to become, including the starting of an innocence project, because the idea that persons can gamble with the Constitution and the freedom of people, the liberty of people, is something that we ought to be very afraid of in terms of the modern narrative and media, and that will be addressed in due time.
Have you spoken to Kartel's family?
We are. You guys take over the whole conversation. We need time to do that. We need to do that now. Health-wise, we need to do that expeditiously, and that is what we'd like to do. So I want to thank you guys for entertaining